Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're having a good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this video. Now, I know it's been a week since, the Stranger Things collab units have released. So I was waiting just the right amount of time to, basically give my overall thoughts and opinion of each of the characters and, how they kind of compare to the REZERO collab characters. Now, I do think the REZERO collab characters are better. Beatrice, maybe not so much, but definitely Ram, Amelia, and Rem. I think they are actually better than this batch of heroes. Jim is probably gonna be, he's probably gonna be long lasting because of his passive, right? I don't want to say he'll be timeless because there might be, better units in the future, but for right now, I will say he is gonna be long lasting. His passive works very well with collab characters because of this direct hit. So once the direct hit is applied, enemies with direct hit take 40% more damage and become poisoned for one turn when attacked by collab heroes. And no, this is not exclusive to the Stranger Things collab units. This is all collab units. So yeah, his passive is very good. His skill set is good as well. So yeah, and his crit chance and crit damage are actually pretty decent. His crit chance is very high, and then he also has weak point on his ultimate. So I will say he is actually very good. 11, I would say, is probably the second best. The only reason I would say she's not the first best is because of her, she basically decreases her HP by 10% for each skill use. Now I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, that's not really that bad. I know it's not the worst, but I just don't see her being more used in the future than Jim. So for right now, I will say Jim is probably number 1, 11 right next to him, but at number 2, right? Because I'm pretty sure in about maybe like 2 weeks, no one's really gonna be running 11. Not only will people not have her 6 out of 6, her power strike is very good, but her wave card, I feel like in the future actually won't be that great, right? It won't be that great anymore. So we'll have to see. Although she has pretty good crit chance, we'll just have to see in the future. But if you want to make the argument that she is, number 1 in the collab, I wouldn't say you're wrong. I would just say Gem in terms of viability and utility, he probably will be number 1. But yeah, so I guess we can just straight up go into the REZERO collab characters. Mike and Will are literally underwhelming. Like they're not impressive. They're underwhelming. Will, okay, Will, his flood card is, I feel like on another unit, this flood card actually would be very good. Will has no attack boosting passive. He doesn't boost his attack related stats or anything, right? So I feel like on another unit, this actually would be very good. Even with Gother on his team, this flood card still doesn't hit the greatest, and it does scale up his HP, yes, I know, but it's like it doesn't hit that hard. We'll have to see, right? We'll just have to see when this eventually comes out on another unit how it goes or how it works, right? But his passive is, again, his passive on paper seemed like amazing, but in game, if you know how to work around this, it really isn't that crazy. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, it's not that crazy. First off, you get all your stats decreased by 20%, and then your ultimate move gauge is sealed. So if an opponent knows how to work around this, it's not that great. It really isn't that crazy at all. But it could come in clutch at certain times. However, it's not. I wouldn't even say it's reliable. It's not really reliable. So yeah, Will's very underwhelming. Same thing with Mike. He's not really that impressive either. Mike's passive is good because of the attack related stats decrease debuff, but that's it. Literally that's pretty much it about them. But the REZERO collab characters, let's go ahead and let's talk about them, right? So the REZERO collab characters, Amelia is better than Mike and Will because of her skill set is very amazing. Like freeze on her first skill, right? Freeze on her passive, which is insane, and then she also has Lost Veins ultimate. So it doesn't even matter if she's going up against a green unit. That ultimate is going to ignore type disadvantage. So it doesn't even matter, right? And then her second skill is Gother's Dissolve. It's strong. It's very strong, right? So she has a very strong hit, and she's very useful. She has her uses, man. So if she gets hit 2 times, she not only cleanses all debuff, but she freezes that enemy that hit her 2 times. So it's like, you got to be careful when fighting her, because some people do forget about this passive, and then they just get screwed over royally by it. Like, it's insane. Then not only that, she can freeze, and then she has Jericho's freeze card, but better because it actually freezes on rank 1 instead of dealing damage. It just freezes on rank 1. So this is probably the best freeze move in the game. It's literally probably the best freeze move in the game. You could say Merlin still could be better, but I think this one takes the cake. I honestly think this one takes the cake. But yeah, she's very strong. Very, very strong. Now let's go ahead and let's talk about Rem and Ram. So Ram is the free unit. She is amazing. She is absolutely amazing for a free unit. She's like literally on the level of Jim, right? But the thing is, she actually probably is I would say number 3 in her batch, because of the fact that Amelia and Rem are just, they're just amazing. Like, they're different, man. They're just different, right? So that's why she's probably at number 3, whereas Jim I would honestly consider at number 1 because of his usefulness and his ability to probably be long lasting, and you can run him alongside these units, by the way. So yeah, keep that in mind. But her passive increases unknown allies' basic stats by 20%, so that's very good for her batch. So she increases her batch's basic stats by 20%, which is absolutely incredible. She has stun on her rank 2 and rank 3, same card that Jim has, and Goddess Elizabeth, very, very strong utility right there. Then she has an AoE Rupture, which is nice because it'll break through Goddess Elizabeth's shield because she is green, right? So it'll break through her shield very easily. And not only that, anybody who buffs themselves will be taking double the damage. So very good right there. And then her ultimate decreases attack related stats by 30% on all enemies, by the way. So I believe Death Pierce comes to mind with this ultimate right here. I think Death Pierce has that ultimate. So yeah, very strong hit all in all. One of the best free-to-play units alongside Jim and Green Arthur. Just has to be one of the best free-to-play units right off the gate. So she's very strong, very, very strong. And if we go to Rem, so Rem is probably, I don't know if she's number 1 or number 2. I think some people might consider her number 1 just because of her damage output. But it's, I don't know. It's just it's up to your opinion on it, right? So her passive is very, very insane. So whenever she uses or moves a skill to rank up a skill and gains an ultimate move gauge orb, she increases her attack related stats by 5% for 3 turns up to 5 times. Yeah, that's strong, man. That's strong because all she has to do is move a card and she gets attack related stats buff. She doesn't even have to use a card. Yeah, and then she gets this 5 times, so she gets a 25% boost to her attack related stats, which is absolutely, yeah, it's insane, right? And all of that lasts up to 3 turns, which is very nice because it's long. So she'll be able to actually be a heavy hitter for a while if she actually stacks this up. So she's not playing around when she comes on the battlefield. She's absolutely insane. And then if there are 5 or more ultimate move gauge orbs, she recovers 30% of her max HP. so she heals herself when she gets a max ultimate move gauge, and then she also increases her attack related stats. So yeah, you tell me that she's not insane. This is how a red unit should be built in 2021. This is how a red unit should be built, with the one running wild. This is how a red unit should be built. She's very strong. She even destroys Escanor. Like, no joke, she literally destroys Escanor when she's stacked up on her passive and using this amplify card. She's insane. She's like, honestly, she's like I don't want to say a better version of Red Derriere, but she might actually be a better version because she doesn't need to use skills. She literally can just move it, right? Yeah, she literally just needs to move it, or maybe she moves cards to rank up a skill, right? But still the same thing, right? But I think she might actually be a better version of Derriere because you do most of the time you're gonna use a skill anyway. But yeah, I kind of did move past this a little fast because it says move skills to rank up a skill. So she does need to move her skill, like combine cards basically to rank, you know, basically get that attack buff. But still, it's still very, very strong. She doesn't even have to use a card, right? So I would say she probably is a better version of Red Derriere. The only thing is she doesn't evade. So yeah, you could probably say that. But she does have this card right here, which is an AoE move, by the way, and decreases ultimate move damage by 20%. Then on rank 2, this is why it's strong. She nullifies ultimate move effects for 1 turn and decreases ultimate move damage by 30%. So yeah, not to mention we're still getting a buff by her passive skill, right? So she hits hard, man. That's all I'm gonna say. She hits extremely hard, and you can see right there she's very good for Crimson Demon. Very good because of this amplified card. I don't know, man. She's just, I don't know. They built her to be an absolute powerhouse. So not only is she, you know, restricting ultimate move effects on rank 2 and 3, she's also decreasing the ultimate move damage on rank 2, 3, and or 1, 2, and 3 as well. So keep that in mind. Like, she's just very good, very good. And then her ultimate is an AoE shatter, and that in itself is strong because it ignores resistance. So Droll's, you know, commandment automatically gets nullified with this ultimate. So if you're using like blue Droll and she uses her ultimate, yeah, GG, because this is literally gonna ignore his commandment. So yeah, and then when you get a 6 out of 6, it's 630% on top of the, you know, if you have all of these buffs active, right? Even if it's 4, even if it's 20%, right? 20 to 25%, yeah, you're still you're done. That's it. You're just done. So honestly, I would probably say she, in terms of like damage, she is number 1 in their batch. But Amelia, in terms of utility, is probably taking the cake. Beatrice is just not good. I'm not even gonna go over her. She's just not as good as she, you know, she sounds. But I will say that she probably is a little better than Mike and Will. Simply because of her ability to recover, right? And she does buff lifesteal, so she does come with a buff to lifesteal, single target lifesteal cards, by the way. She does come with that buff, so I would say she actually probably is a little teeny weensy bit better than Mike and Will. That it's just how it is. I can see the argument for you know, Mike and Will, you know, Will being his passive and Mike as well, but keep in mind every time she hits, she heals. So yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. My final thoughts. These units are decent. I would say 11 is very good. Jim is very good as well, but I still think the REZERO collab characters are better. So once their banner comes out, I'll probably be going over should you summon video with no content on global. Pretty much have to keep every video I have in my arsenal and just push them out, right? But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know your comments, or let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already, and as always, I will see you all next time.